So this is my werewolf mask, my new one. You can see it's actually had a little bit of extra work done to it. The ears look a little better now. Um, Anywho, it's built on buckram, which you can get at your craft store. I took a couple of layers of it and laid it over a base that I made. I sculpted out a wolf face and then just cut a shape that's like this. Okay, with eye holes. Which, by the way, if you're doing this, you probably want to have a bigger eye hole than these. It's a little difficult to see, but not terribly. I did fine. Anywho, but just, yeah, laid the buckram on it and let it dry. And when I was finished, I added wire supports along the jaw. There's wire here, and on the bottom jaw, I cut a separate piece for the bottom jaw. It's sort of shaped like a V, actually. After I did the initial sculpting of the buckram base and then got the buckram dry, I had to sculpt the nose and all the teeth. They're all made out of Sculpey, Super Sculpey, to be precise, and then painted with acrylic paints, which does wear a little bit. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see. There's a couple of places where you can actually see the Sculpey after, I've maybe 20 hours of wearing it. I haven't counted. And also I used acrylic gloss to get that shine. The mouth, one is done wrong. I had to scavenge a little bit. The lip is made with pleather, and then it's felt back here. Don't do that. I'm actually probably going to redo this entire lower jaw and do this with a black 2-part epoxy. Haven't found it yet, but I will. Also, the tongue is just painted canvas. You can actually see the seam. Hopefully no one will be looking in my mouth that much. Also, in the mouth I've got these 2 felt flaps. There we go. And there's my battery pack. You can see I've got my battery popped out, so that's why the eyes aren't glowing. The eyes are also just rubber bouncy balls. I actually just got some resin that I'm going to be experimenting with, but the bouncy balls work well, and it's kind of cool because at certain angles, I don't think I'm going to get them to do it. Sometimes in certain lights, the backs of the eyes actually look kind of reflective, which I think is neat. It's very eye shine-ish. Also, the fur is attached using little dollops of hot glue just to hold it in the proper places. And then I had to go in and hand stitch all of these little seams. So it's like I've got the muzzle, that's a piece. I've got this part of the muzzle, and it comes down like here. I tried to cut the pattern pieces so that it fits the shape of a wolf's face, because wolves have different sort of patterns of fur. So it comes down here with the cheek. Okay, and then I've got this sort of eyebrow thingy going on, and then I've got, this is all one piece. Okay, and then I went in with inks and paints and blended it a little bit and added a little bit of shadowing. You can see a bit of yellow maybe. This is not the best light to be doing this in. Anywho, I'm gonna flip this sucker over. Oh, the humanity, it's so ugly from the back. So, this is the inside. Not quite so magical looking. This little bar here is how the jaw moves. I don't have any elastic holding the jaw shut, because if something were to happen to me, I would like the jaw to want to hang open naturally, as opposed to, cutting my air off, because you do have to be able to breathe. I have 2 pieces of padding that are really important. I've got one for my jaw, which is right there, and one for my forehead, which is really, really useful. It's very, very comfy. I measured the length I needed the teeth to be so that these come right up against my face, which probably isn't something you want to do, but for me it works. Also, there's the jaw hinge. It's just a brad, but actually it's sewn together. You don't really need a brad hinge, because this stuff, like you can see here, it's really flexible where your face meets it, but because of the wire supports I added in the inside of the jaws, the muzzle itself is very sturdy. So I've got flex here. Now the one problem with the flex I'm finding is that allows the wires, I've got this battery pack and then a split circuit to go to the LEDs in the eyes. That's what these are. It allows that to flex, and it's causing a little bit of a short somewhere. Meh. If it was perfectly rigid, I wouldn't have a problem, but oh well. Also, this piece of elastic goes underneath my ears, and it's for the lower jaw, and it holds that in place, and makes sure that this goes along my chin. I actually find that I have a little more control if I put it on my lower lip, but I don't think a lot of people want to do that. I don't know, maybe I'm just gross. Anywho, and this bit of elastic goes over my ears, and I just flip my hair over it. The ears, this is just fun foam, and just a couple of wire supports. I actually had a completely different design for the ear planned, but they were too big and I had to cut them down, and it didn't quite work out, so that's that. Also, the buckram, where I've got the elastic, you see those? That's a lot of staples. I don't want the elastic to break on me, so I've got a gajillion staples. Like, I put a little bit of hot glue on the actual piece of elastic and stapled the snot out of it while it was still hot. And then on the other side, I've got more glue where the staple ends are. Never, ever, ever staple these so that the points, like, the ends are toward your face, because if you have a staple malfunction, then you'd have a sharp piece of wire on your face, and that'd be horrible. Gosh, I don't know what else to say. Let's see, teeth are Sculpey, painted with acrylic. Wire supports, felt, epoxy. I think that's about it. At least all the important parts. The rest of it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Well, I hope that was somewhat helpful. Anywho, thanks for listening. Bye.